Hello and welcome to TA for Traders. It's Friday the 28th of April. I'm Nigel Croft. In this short video, the fourth of the day, I'll be looking at the chart of two UK stocks. Barclays, which has come out with figures today. The shares have come off on the figures. Technically, that is the right thing for them to do. They're up against the resistance of the downtrend in 50-day, and a downward movement was to be expected. And we'll also be looking at Bushfeld Minerals, BMN, and there we'll be seeing that there is potentially further upside, and the short-term chart does look positive. Thank you. So starting with Barclays, and you can see that on this daily, so each candle represents one day, that we were up against the resistance of the 50-day moving average and into this band of resistance, which was very strong. So we've come off today on the figures. That shouldn't have been unexpected. We've gone back below the 20-day moving average, and that is now the immediate resistance if there was any bounce. The hammer picture that we're having today, obviously it's only 11 o'clock, so it's early days, but it does look like a negative picture in that there's been a big range on the day, but we are down towards the lower level of the day. So it opened low, it went higher, and it's come off, so technically it's not a good picture. Where will we go? Well, there's the supports coming in at the 206 level, 205.75. One would expect those to be tested. The RSI, which did actually break its downtrend, is now collapsed given today's move, and the MACD as well, which were starting to look okay, are rolling over. These were looking okay, but if you looked at this chart yesterday or the day before, you'd have been looking at these resistances, and you should have been expecting a pullback. Looking at the weekly, and you can see here that the dominant factor has been this red line. That's the 200-week moving average, and we've gone back below there. You can see that the yellow line, the 20-week, has now rolled down as well. So that's further resistance on the upside. Where we're going to go on this weekly, it looks like we're going to drift downwards. The RSI is indicative of negative momentum. It's in a downtrend, and the MACD are not looking good as well. Looking at the 4-hour, slight different picture here, but you can see that the resistance levels that we reached, and now you can see that the key support seen down below this 207.5 level. Again, the RSI is cracked down back below 50, 41.09, and the MACD was getting the short term going below the long term, so that is starting to flash warning signs as well. Looking at the 54-hour moving average, this blue line, that has been a dominant factor looking back. So if we were to bounce over the next few hours, that would be a resistance level. That's at 215.36, and in the short term would be a good level to short or to get out of this stock. And looking at the support resistance levels, you've got the resistances from those moving averages, 216.76 and then 224.54, with support at 205.89. That's the lower level of that little consolidation phase that we had before the rise. And then the second support comes in at the 200-day, which is presently at 201.05. Moving on to Bushfeld Minerals. It's not always easy to do technical analysis on a stock that's moved so aggressively. I mean, obviously, back in December, this was a 2p stock, and now we're at 8.2p. But what I would say is, just looking at the technicals, it was quite good that the high that we had on the 7th of April was above the high that we had on the 30th of March. So that wasn't a start of a downtrend. So that's a positive. You can see that the 20-day moving average, this yellow line, what I'll do, I'll zoom in so you can see that a bit clearer. The yellow line here is it gave support, which was good, and we've just moved back above there. You can see the 50 and the 200 are moving up, which is good. Going back to the bit longer term picture, and RSI is above 50, so that's good. MACD not quite as good, but they are, the differential between the short and the long is narrowing, which is good. And I think over the next couple of days you are going to get the short, the blue one going above the red one, short term above the long term, which on an MACD level is a bullish sign. Looking at the longer weekly picture, you can see that there is resistance back from 2013 up at the 10.5 level. You can see that the high was that downtrend wasn't confirmed with those highs. Bit overextended from the moving average, I'd say, but the RSI is showing positive momentum, MACD positive as well. So even though it's extended, it could extend further. Now looking at the shorter term, this is the 4-hour chart. I mean, if this was a daily chart, it would be a roaring buy, or it would be in the next couple of days, because what you're going to get the 20 average crossing the 50. I would hope the 50 is actually moving slightly down at the moment, but I'd hope in the next couple of days that might just tick up. We'll have to watch it carefully, but that should give the push up and hopefully break these resistance levels that we're seeing. The RSI has just gone back above 50, indicative of positive momentum, and the MACD has just started to shout out a buy signal. So on this short-term 4-hour chart, it looks positive. Looking at the support resistance levels, sorry, that was Barclays, here we go, Bushfeld Minerals. Resistance 8.965, and then as I said, that resistance from 2013 at 10.7, with support 7.809, which is the 20-day, and then support at 7.25. So that has been TA for Traders, Friday 28th of April, looking at Barclays and Bushfeld Minerals. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've got this far through it, well done. If you're not a subscriber, please just hit the subscribe button. And if you're on a bulletin board and you thought this was interesting, post this video on the bulletin board. Let people know about TA for Traders. There's videos coming every day. Thanks for watching. Please do remember that these videos are for educational purposes only. They're only my opinions, and in no way are they meant as investment recommendations. Please do read the disclaimer. Thank you.